Just crap it out of our ass
Hello,
right
everybody, and welcome to the B&T Sportstalk Show. I'm your boy
now.
T, here with my man B, and we are here for another wonderful Sunday evening of sports with y'all. Got caught off guard by our own timer, but we made it. Thank y'all for joining us. If you like the show, if you like some of our previous content, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. We appreciate it. Hit the like button on the videos. We did a show on Friday for Pick'em Dummies. Go check that out. Well, maybe it's too late because you already watched the games, but check it out anyway. And we'll be back next Friday again. So yeah, please hit those buttons. Which one did I miss? I got subscribe, like, and the notification bell. Don't forget to hit that one.
Hit all of that.
Get all of them. B, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Today's been a perfect day. Watched football, had some dim sum, cooked an amazing breakfast this morning. Some Eggo waffles with some strawberries.
There you go.
An egg, some sourdough toast. Your boy ate, to say the least here. Fed the family well, so can't be mad at that. Now we're ending the night on some Sunday night football here. Hopefully we get another fight because apparently the NFL just in the college football world just wanted to fight, and I can't wait to talk about it tonight.
Yes, everyone is very, very upset and angry right after Thanksgiving. Don't ask me why. So much to be thankful for, but apparently not for most of the NCAA.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, we're definitely going to get into that. We'll also talk about, we might have a chance to cover a little bit of basketball, but I think mostly we're going to cover the NFL. We'll talk about the NCAA fights. B has a great marketing scheme for the NFL to help boost some of their ratings, since I guess they need more billions, right? B, as if they don't make enough money.
I know.
But anyway, we'll get into that too. Yeah, man. So, man, let's jump right into it. We'll start off with our
Thanksgiving.
Teams.
Let's start with Thanksgiving first.
Okay. I mean, what game you want to talk about? Because the game, the Cowboys game, although they got it done.
That was boring, man. That had to be one of the worst games Thursday for that. There, you had the New York Giants, who looked stupid for letting Daniel Jones go.
Yeah.
Did you take a nap during that game? Because I sure the hell did. That was boring.
Yeah, I didn't really watch it. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. It wasn't a game that was at the top of my list to watch. I did watch the Chicago-Detroit game, which was much more entertaining. Although Chicago, wasn't able to complete the deal or get the job done there, and got their. Did their coach get fired? Yeah, their
got
coach
his ass fired. Black Friday, black firings.
Yes, well, he wasn't black, but he did get fired.
Oh, come on, man, you know what I meant.
Well, whatever, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, so and then you had the Miami Green Bay game, which is absolute garbage. Most of these games were not good, outside of, like I said, Chicago making a comeback at in the early game, which was like 9:30 a.m. So maybe you did catch it, maybe you didn't. The Giants-Dallas game was kind of playing in the background, but I'll be honest with you, I wasn't really paying close attention to it because these two teams it didn't matter who won this game. Let's just put it like that.
Yeah. Can we talk about that Bears-Lions game, though? Because the Bears have been competitive for the last – they've had some bad losses, but I think this one is going to be the worst one here. That had to be some of the worst clock management to tie a game or even win a game that I've ever seen. They had the ball in field goal territory, and all they had to do was just get lined up for it. They get a sack, take them a little further out of the field goal range. They still have a chance. They have one timeout in their back pocket. Choose not to use it. Let the clock run down. Burned it. And absolutely just let the game expire. And that was the best play that they came up with. And it eventually led to their coach being fired, man. I don't know about you, but I found myself yelling at the TV, call your timeout. I'm not a Bears fan. I'm not a Lions fan. But I'm yelling, call the timeout, and they're just letting the clock burn. It was disgusting.
I think we all stood there and watched Caleb Williams burn 12 seconds off the clock as they just kind of forgot that they were at the end of the game, I guess. I really don't know what the heck was going on. It was really stupid. But to be honest with you, I wasn't as upset about that as I was about the situation with the Raiders, which was much, much worse. So now we're fast forwarding. We had our Thanksgiving games. The only thing I think I'll throw out there is that Miami has no business playing in Green Bay in late November, December, or any time
But
after
that's just like the
October.
Niners not having any
Dude,
business in
that
Buffalo right now.
I mean, none, no, none,
They
and
don't.
not to take away. Tua had a fairly good game, and this is only his, I think, maybe second or third week back, so I can't take anything away from him. But their season's shot, and the fact that they got to come back and oh my gosh, a fight is broken out between the Rockets and the OKC as well, my friend. This is
Was it
not a
a
lot.
good one?
No, it's basketball players don't fight. It was just
Uh,
a lot of shoving, a lot of
a lot
shoving,
of, lot of pushing and
a
shoving.
lot of
That's not.
pushing and shoving. But
No,
anyway.
they have a lot to live up to, especially after what college did.
Oh, it
That's not
didn't
a
live up to that.
fight. Yeah, okay, then
Didn't
never
live
mind.
up to that.
It's not to talk about there.
But yeah, but moving forward. So Friday, generally the Raiders have always played Kansas City very tough. Over the past few years, they've been right there. No matter how good Kansas City was, the Raiders made a run at them every single time. Now they lost every time too, but they made a run. This game was no different. I thought the Raiders defense looked really good, looked poised out there. Dude,
They have like 5 sacks.
yeah, man, they
That
got
game?
after it. I was happy with the defense, the defensive effort overall. But man, the end of that game is really what it comes down to. That I really want to discuss.
Let's talk about it.
So they made some plays. AOC had a great game, I thought. This is a guy who had been injured, a guy who had started most of last season that really didn't get a good chance. And I thought he should have started from this season going forward, and you see why. He doesn't make incredible plays, but he just makes the good plays. He makes
Yeah.
the play. And it's not always a big one, but it's enough to move the ball forward, and that's what they did. They got down the field and gave themselves an opportunity to kick a field goal to win the game. Okay? And for some strange reason, they got down into Kansas City territory with 15 seconds left. I believe they were on their, I want to say 25 or 30-yard line. So a makeable kick for Carlson, who's been a fairly reliable kicker, although I think he did miss one in this game. But they could have won. The idea is we can win the game. 15 seconds left. So the first question is, in this situation, B, is it a good idea? And I'll give you my opinion before you can give me your opinion, then I'll give you mine. Was it a good idea to even run an additional play in this game whenever you can kick a field goal with 15 seconds to win the game?
No, no. I don't know. What are you thinking at that point? Just fight the ball.
Yeah,
You should have learned your lesson from the Chicago game, right?
yeah.
Brock. First of all, before I even dig deep into that, Brock Bowers should be Rookie of the Year.
Oh man, he was killing it.
If anything, he's competing with Jaden Daniels. The dude caught 10 balls for 140 yards from the tight end position.
Yeah.
Okay, that play to set him up to open up. What was it, Myers? Myers ended up having the big play after Bowers did. What are you pressing for? You're in territory where you don't have to do anything but to make sure you just get a decent spot for a field goal. That's it.
Yeah.
Spike the ball.
Yeah.
I don't get why you are even thinking about lining up to run a play in 15 seconds. There's things that can go wrong, and obviously we saw something go wrong here.
So that's number one, right? Is the fact that they even took the opportunity to do that whenever you already are in position. Your field goal kicker is in his wheelhouse where he can make that kick, and you have the confidence to do it. But for some strange reason, they decided to run one more play. I can only assume to get the ball to the corners and possibly, I guess, pick up another 5 yards or 10 yards and get out of bounds really quickly. They obviously couldn't make a play over the middle. I don't think they had any. They didn't have any more timeouts at that point.
No timeouts.
So this 15 seconds was, in my opinion, from a coaching position, this was a huge mistake by the coach. You can't. There's no way after losing all these games you have a chance to give your team a huge morale lift and maybe even save your own butt by winning this game against the number one team in your division, and you fumble it. And so that's number one. They screwed that up from a coaching standpoint. That was a huge mistake. Okay, number two. They hike the ball, and apparently a whistle is blown for a penalty, which is yet to be named. A false start. The other was a what was the other
Illegal
one? Illegal
motion.
motion, which, if I remember correctly, both of these calls render the play dead. Both of
No,
them. No, not the. I thought the
illegal
illegal
motion.
mesh. I thought.
Illegal motion
Legal motion
doesn't.
doesn't.
No, if the ball's not hiked, then the play is dead.
Right.
But if it's an illegal motion and the ball is hiked, then the ball is live at that point.
Gotcha.
There, a
So
false start kills
false
everything.
start kills it. Illegal motion. Okay.
Yeah.
So they hike the ball. Aiden O'Connell has no idea that the ball is even coming his way.
But hit him right in the face.
Uh, seriously, I don't know what that was. The ball, he's standing there and boom, boom, boom. The ball just bounces off of him. And in the most bumbling way possible, they end up giving up the ball on a fumble, and the game is then over.
Yep.
The Raiders players were extremely upset, as they should be, because the assumption was that the call was going to render the play dead if it was a false start. That was. There was a whistle blown, which should have indicated that the play was dead, or at least so so was said. And but none of that happened. And after review and talking for 5 minutes, they decided that the game was over and that the fumble would hold. Casey got the ball. Obviously, there were only 15 seconds left, so that was pretty much a wrap at that point.
Well, let me ask you this: is it a false start or is it illegal motion?
I don't know what the hell it was. You're asking me. I have no idea.
I'm asking because there's a replay of the ref coming in signaling a false start.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so the whole review after that is to determine whether it was. Now, when you look at the replay, all the Raider players are lined up on the line. There's no movement.
Yeah.
The only movement you get is from Bowers on the line going, "What are we doing?" Right? He's the one who's actually lined up in the wrong position.
Yeah.
The center hikes the ball. The guard, I think it was the right guard, taps him on the shoulder as if, hey, it's time to hike it.
Yeah.
And then just, and it's the end of the game. I'm sorry, that's an illegal motion. There was no move. There was no movement on the line at all. You had Brock Bowers lined up, not aligned with the ball, so that's an illegal motion there. But the ball is live if he continues to hike it. So the Raiders doomed themselves in that. There, I could get why you're mad at the beginning, but at the end of the day, it was an illegal motion. There was no movement from the line that indicated a false start.
Yeah, well, I mean, the refs had to get together obviously and figure some of that out. Even though we had, like you said, a ref signaling one thing, another thing called. Obviously, the confusion is going to put you in a bad place after such a horrendous play, and what it became is just a cluster of mistakes that equals a Raiders loss.
Yeah.
Look, Kansas City has to be the most luckiest team on the face of the earth. They won. They won the game. I forgot who they were playing against. They won one game on a blocked. Was that Denver?
That was Denver.
That was Denver. They were on a blocked field goal. Okay.
Yep.
And then this game they win on just the most goofiest thing I've ever seen. And with the outside of the referee controversy or the play call and all that, it was like Jamarcus Russell days. It was stupid. It was the hike the ball, it hits the guy in the face, fumble, game over. And dude, it's just I don't know. Does Antonio Pierce does he make it? Does he last? Because these are the types of things that we look at and we say, well, you did a good job getting these guys. They got this far, but to have it blow up in your face so terribly, I don't know, man. To me, this is one of those games where you start questioning, what is our coaching staff doing? Why are they making these decisions?
So let's look at the Raiders' decision and the Bears' decision because it both cost them games, and I think both of it falls on coaching. Right? It is your job as a coach to make sure your team is ready for these certain situations, especially when you have a timeout to use. Just use it. For the Raiders situation, there should be no sense in even trying to run a play. Antonio Pierce needs to know that this is your only opportunity to beat this team. You're not going to have a 15-second play that's going to be any better than a field goal at that point there.
Yeah.
So you might as well just kill the ball, spike it, live for this field goal. Carlson's not a bad field goal kicker.
No, he's not.
He missed one, but look what Justin Tucker's doing for the Ravens right now. He can't hit anything but the middle of the field goal post. You know what I'm saying? So you have to take your chance because, as everyone knows, when it comes to playing the Chiefs, this may be the one and only opportunity you get to beat them. There wasn't enough time on the clock for the Chiefs to sit there and go, we can get down the field and kick a field and put ourselves in a position to win the game. There wasn't enough time for that.
Right.
So you have to go out and kick the field goal. This is 100% on Antonio Pierce for not having his guys ready in a situation like this. You have to anticipate that there. Doesn't matter if it's first down, if it's second down, spike the ball. This is the last opportunity. This is it. Go take it. And they didn't. They thought they can get cute with 15 seconds. You have a rookie center who doesn't really know what he needs to do. And, the right guard said, oh, dude, hike the ball. And it just
game over.
After that. You had the guy in Chicago not burning a timeout.
Yeah.
Like this, I can't fault any player for this. This is all strictly on the coaching.
Yeah, man. And hey, at the end of the day, the Raiders are not a good team. And so, this is what realistically, these are some of the things that happen to teams that have only won 2 games in the season. And so, they got to find a way to recoup. The only silver lining I see is that Aiden O'Connell should have been the starter from the beginning. That's another one. That's another strike against Antonio Pierce. Is that, like this whole thing with Gardner Minshew, who was out there just trying to desperately grasp for straws and make plays on the run. And I'm not to say that he's not a okay quarterback. He's a backup for sure. But Aiden O'Connell threw for 340 yards and 2 touchdowns. Okay?
Yeah.
Minshew, I don't think cracked 300 all season. And so it's just, I wish that they had we're talking about coaches again. That decision should have been made at the beginning of the season. There's no reason that he shouldn't have started. We talked about this at the beginning of the season. This guy started the last 5 or 6 games of the season. They had an uplift at the end of the season that helped invigorate their team going into this season. And then the bottom falls out, I guess, because they decide, you know what? We're gonna sign another quarterback, Gardner Minshew, and we're gonna make him the team lead. The guy wasn't even a starter on his own team. The only reason he was available was because somebody else replaced him. And so it's just, he's not Rich Gannon, guys. Like he's not gonna take him. He's not gonna come in and could do something great for your team because he lost his starting job to Elvis Grbac. This is not the same situation. So I just think, again, these are knocks against the coaching. They gotta they're taking too long to figure this stuff out. You gotta start figuring out overall, as a franchise, what the heck direction you guys are going in. AOC should have been the starter. Make him the starter. All these games we wasted away, he could have been priming himself to be a better quarterback and growing in the role. But instead, we're 2-10. We have 2 injured quarterbacks. AOC just came back, and now we're in the best game that would have been the best game of our season. We're doing this kind of stuff.
Yep. Well, now you're just playing for a draft pick, and luckily you got the Jags coming up pretty soon. So the draft pick bowl will be in full effect.
They'll win that game
in about a week or two. We don't know that.
Trevor Lawrence he's still trying to figure out what day it is. He's not even.
Bro, he fell wrong today.
He got wrecked, bro.
As my sister would say today, he got trucked. He got put into what was it? Hollow Earth. I'm referencing Godzilla here. He got put into Hollow Earth today.
Yeah, my man is not going to be coming back to play next week. I can almost guarantee you that.
Yeah.
A couple other stories around. Well, we got to talk about Baltimore. We got to talk about the Ravens, who had one of their bigger games against one of the top teams in the NFC. In the Philadelphia Eagles, and they were at home. This was a close game throughout. It was a little weird of a game throughout most of the first half. Neither team really busted out. Philly did get 2 touchdowns in the second, and then the defense is tightened up a little bit. I want to get your opinion on what happened with your team other than not being able to, shut down Saquon.
It's called Justin Tucker. Is what cost us the game today. 6 points, a PAT. You know what that means? That's a touchdown that we left on the board to beat the Eagles here. Both defenses were on point today here. And I was trying to see if it was just bad offense, if it was, in fact, the defense. Offenses were making plays. It was going to be the first one to make a big play. And Saquon Barkley, who is going to win this rushing title this year, maybe be a dark horse for MVP. There's a lot of good candidates this year. It's not going to be a runaway, but look, man, the Eagles are the hottest team in the NFL right now. That's 8 wins in a row from their last loss here. And that's a testament to what they're doing here. But the Ravens, again, are just putting themselves in positions. I'm trying to figure out why Lamar Jackson just doesn't run when he needs to.
Even that last play, right?
Yes.
Even that last play where he goes down the middle of the field, he begins to sprint upfield, and then he tosses a duck that almost gets intercepted. At the
Zay Flowers,
at the end of the game,
the crossing route,
and so I don't know, man. I mean, you feel like there's something going on here where he just feels like it isn't necessary for him to necessarily, to always run the ball. Now, in his defense, he ran for 79 yards today, but I guess what you're used to seeing is the MVP caliber, prolific, run and throwing, a talent that he's used to being, and he just hasn't been that player this year, man. So I don't think that really hasn't been a part of his game this particular season.
It's the timing of the run. Like they parted the seas sometimes. The Eagles were about 5-10 yards deep.
Yeah.
Most of the times there's no hesitation. He's taken off and then he's hesitating.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, we need the yards. Like it was a little mind baffling here. But I'm not taking anything away from the Eagles. They came in and smacked the Ravens right in the mouth. Both teams were physical, and then in the second, it all came down to the fourth quarter. That's when it came down to. Both teams were shut out in the third, and it turned out to be the Eagles who put a little more points on the board there. So Saquon with a big game, 23 carries, 107 yards. It's not often you don't see the Ravens get beat on the ground, and they got shellacked. Like they got owned on the ground today.
Yeah, man. I mean, Saquon Barkley, like you mentioned earlier, just has been a huge offensive threat to the point that Jalen Hurts is just like, that didn't have to do much today. 11 for 19, 118 yards, 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
He didn't do a whole lot. But Saquon was there to pick up the slack, 107 rushing yards, 1 TD, and then Hurts had a few rushes himself. And but I think, like you said, man, I think this was a defensive struggle, unfortunately, Baltimore did not make enough winning plays in order to put this away. So
no more division talk. They're out of the division race.
Yeah, they're wild card now.
It's just you got to contain the wild card. I don't see the Steelers really losing games, man. It's just I think this is. The Steelers team may be legit too.
Steelers went bananas today.
Russell Wilson,
in a game,
boy is going off.
In a game where they went from a game where there were barely any points in snow, and they get some green grass and they go berserk and put up 44 points, which is not very Steeler-esque. But they definitely got. Oh wow, the Niners just. You see that?
No, I'm watching it right now. Hold on, don't ruin it for me.
All right, I'm not gonna ruin it. I'll let you watch it.
Oh boy.
This snow is destroying the 49ers, folks.
Oh boy.
It's killing them. They're not going to win this game. I don't think anybody thought they were.
Oh, good hit by Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
That was a nice little out there.
Brock Purdy.
Yeah, Brock Purdy knocked him out of bounds.
Oh, he did? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well.
NFL, you're wrong for this. You're 100% wrong for this.
They ain't
NFL.
winning that game, bro.
You can't send a West Coast team to the East Coast in December when it's looking like this.
My man got hit.
That's just disrespectful.
The ball popped out of there like it had Vaseline on it. Seriously. Who was that? Juice. How do you say that guy's name?
Juice.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. That was at the goal line. Fullback draw. Forgot the ball. and the Bills take it, and they ran it all the way back to looked like the 40-yard line. So, yeah, well, that's a wrap. Like, not much to discuss in that game.
Well, I mean, we'll dive into it, but can we talk about your favorite team in the AFC East who choked away a game today?
I loved it. It was great. They had the lead for the longest time too, and it looked like that the Jets were going to turn the corner and possibly win a game because they have the great Aaron Rodgers and the future Hall of Fame Davante Adams and the Garrett Wilson who doesn't even see the ball anymore. And they were on their way to win until they got there, and then they remembered, oh, that's right, we're the insufferable losers that have all of this, that have the old Aaron Rodgers on our team who can no longer play the game, and then they lost the game. They gave it away. So the Seahawks needed this game, honestly. This is a huge win. I mean, they got the win. They go to 7-5. I believe Arizona lost today. So Arizona lost by 1. The Niners are losing, okay? And then who's the other team? With the Rams. Did the Rams play today?
They play tomorrow.
No, the Rams beat New Orleans.
They beat New Orleans. That was boring.
In a game that no one watched. No one watched that game. So the Seahawks have really helped position themselves atop the NFC West. The Jets, on the other hand, their season's over. Aaron Rodgers, the experiment overall is trash, and it's not working. Davante Adams, I'd like to see Aaron Rodgers just go ahead and announce his retirement tomorrow. Go ahead, suck it up, tell everybody it was fun, but you're done with the game of football, and then Davante Adams can follow him into retirement. I mean, if that's what they want to do.
I think that the Jets should bench Aaron Rodgers for the rest of
the season.
You're not going anywhere. You have 3 wins. You're just a win. You're just a loss away for a win less than for being the number 1 draft pick.
Yeah, and the Jets have been going through quarterbacks like crazy. I mean, how do they feel looking at Sam Darnold be with the Vikings right now? Sam Darnold's a guy they drafted. He's a high draft pick. They didn't give him a chance. Then they bring in Wilson. Drafted him too. Didn't give him a chance.
No.
So it's like, what are you doing? You give these quarterbacks like 2 years, maybe, and then you just trade them away. And so that's the Jets are getting what they deserve. Aaron Rodgers, he took the check. Let's call it what it is. They put some cheese on the hook, and they caught him. And that's why he's playing on their team. At the end of the day, nobody's winning a Super Bowl in a Jets uniform. At least not right now. Okay? And probably not for a long time. All right? So let's be done with it, Aaron. Davante Adams, great job. You guys won one more game than the Raiders. I guess that was a reason to go there. But again, the whole thing, wanting to play with your buddy for a losing team, it just goes against everything that competition is all about. Seriously.
Yeah. You know what? How should I put this? I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
I just side confuse myself. It'd be like that sometimes.
But yeah, man, these guys are garbage. They're not going to go to the playoffs. They're not going to be good next year. And I hope that they trade half the team away because, Davante Adams, he's not going to be with the Jets next year. At least I don't think so. I don't even think.
But you can't though. I don't think you can because you're not in a if you rebuild, this is going to get a lot worse for you. That's what I was going to ask. The Browns or the Jets? Who's the first one to come out with the Super Bowl in our era?
Oh gosh, neither one of them in this era. If I had to choose between,
you have to choose one.
I'm gonna say the Browns because they have a pretty good defense. They've shown some signs of growing, and they have a chance to make a choice with Deshaun Watson in the offseason that could change where their team goes. Yeah. This team, they signed. I mean, remember the Browns signed Deshaun Watson 2 or 3 years ago. Aaron Rodgers just showed up last year and didn't even play a game. They played one. What did he play? 5 minutes last season.
I think so.
5 minutes last season. Tears up his knee, tears his Achilles.
It was 3 plays and tore his Achilles.
Hey, it tore his Achilles. Comes back this season, it's garbage. And they almost, like you said, are stuck in a place where they have to let him play next season. Where they have to roll him out there. Unless he decides to retire, they're going to have to roll his old ass out there again next year. And they're going to have to hope that they can also keep Devontae Adams and Garrett Wilson. And then they got to find a new coach. They've already gotten rid of the coach. Didn't they get rid of the general manager or something like that?
Yeah, they got rid of the GM too.
They have no idea what they're doing. The Jets are in the worst possible scenario ever. Seriously. Because if they bring in a new GM, what if he doesn't like these guys? Now what are you going to do with all this money you got on your books between Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers? It's just a lose situation, man. It's terrible.
I know you like it.
Yeah, I love it. I'm glad. I mean,
Bro, and then the penalties to end the game. They had every opportunity to end the Seahawks drive there. Yeah. You had 12 men on the field. Let's see. You had a horse collar tackle. You had pass interference, offsides. Seattle wasn't going to be punting the ball, right? They were at fourth and 6 and a 5-yard penalty. 4th and 1. Like, they gave Seattle every opportunity to try to win the game. And Seattle really didn't even move the ball. It literally was just penalty after penalty that got him into the game-winning touchdown mode. So I'm excited to see it. Devontae Adams is just ruining his legacy. Yeah. I guess you could say it like that. You know how I feel about Aaron Rodgers for that. The Jets are not in a winning position. I'm gonna go with the Browns as being the first team out of that two classless group to win a championship.
Yeah, and I'm with you, man. I'm with you on that. I'm sorry, Jet fans. I know it's probably like throwing dirt on the grave.
We ain't sorry about it. They suck.
They are bad. They've been bad. They have been in the Super Bowl since Joe Namath. So it's
you know what? You know what Jets fans have to hold on to for the longest time? The butt fumble. You have to hold on to that. You know what I'm saying?
Good old Sanchez.
Mark Sanchez, it hasn't recovered from pink eye yet because he's still smelling that butt. How hard he hit it.
Every time they show him on one of the college, is he on the college thing now? What's he doing now? Or is he on the NFL? Is he on the NFL Network?
He's on Fox. He's on Fox.
Oh, there you go. He's on Fox doing NFL. So every time I see him, I always think about that. Like, man, this guy was known for being photogenic, but he wasn't known for being a quarterback. Let's just put it like that.
Go figure, right?
Guy's doing magazines with white pantsuits on, but he's not very good at quarterback. All right, so let's get out of that. So now we need to talk about what's going on in the NCAA. Apparently, hold on. Oh wait, what else you got?
Before we do that, we got to talk about rivalry week for the NFL.
Oh. Yeah, the genius. Okay, go ahead.
About this, I got a genius idea, right? So at the end of the year, the NFL makes every team play at 10-1. There's no primetime game at the end of the year, and it's always against your division opponent, right?
Yeah.
Well, this week, NCAA did rivalry week. They do it at the end of the year. Your school's biggest rival turns into a really good game, and sometimes a really punishing game, and where you can fight. So I have this idea. Not to do it at the end of the year, but do it around October, November. The NFL has rivalry week. And the NBA does it, right? The NBA has rivalry week where you got the Lakers and the Celtics.
Yeah.
You got the Warriors and the Kings. You got the Warriors and Lakers. You got some of the NBA's best rivalries, the Knicks and the Heat, all playing in 1 week, right? To draw a little more viewership, the NFL needs to do this. So, Taj, I'm going to give you some games. Let's start with Thursday night. If there was a rivalry game you could see Thursday night, would you prefer to see the AFC or NFC on a Thursday night? You give me a division or a conference.
Let's go with the NFC.
All right, but let's go NFC here. All right, so let's go NFC South. It's not really something that's like,
Saints Bucks. Yeah,
you could go
maybe.
Saints. You could go Saints Bucks. Let's see here. Where's the South here? Yeah, I would say Saints Bucks would probably be the best one. As to start your rivalry week, right? So that's Thursday night. All right, so cool. Let's go into Sunday here, okay? Now these are going to be the biggest games, and let's start with Sunday night. Who would you like to see Sunday night as an intense rivalry game?
I'm thinking. Wait, we're in the NFC, right? You say NFC?
It does. At this point, it doesn't matter.
Okay, it's Ravens Steelers for sure. Ravens Steelers. That to me would be my marquee game. And then next game I'd like to see, this is for the NFC, would be Lions Vikings.
Well, I'm gonna say Lions Packers.
You want to see Lions Packers? Well, you're right. I'd be Lions Packers, the Thanksgiving game. Yeah, we could.
What about Cowboy Packers or Cowboys and Niners?
Cowboys and Niners would be a good one. Cowboys and Niners might be a good one.
You could do the battle in New York between the Jets and the Giants.
Yeah, Jets and the Giants would be good. I'm trying to think of what else we got here. Texans and the Colts? No.
You could do Steelers and Cowboys. Let's see here. What else? You got the Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs. That'd be fun.
Raiders and Chiefs or Raiders and Broncos, either one, honestly.
Let's see.
49ers Seahawks. I think we talked about that one.
Well, let's look at in-state rivalries.
In-state?
The Jets and Giants, Dolphins, Buccaneers.
Well, you got to go Raiders Niners. I mean, we're from this area.
Not really.
It's not a rivalry, but it is. They never play each other.
Or the Battle of Los Angeles. Well, you wonder why it was MMA day the last time they played each other.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's always
that's why it got stopped after a while.
It turned into a fight.
Let's see. You can do the Battle of LA. You can put the Rams and the Chargers, or you can do the Raiders and Chargers.
Yeah,
technically the Raiders were in LA.
Man. Raiders and Chargers is better because the Rams just. I mean, the Rams have more history in LA, but they just got back. The Chargers are from San Diego. I have no idea why they're there.
What would you want to see on Monday night if there was a rivalry game you could choose for Monday night? What would it be?
Man, I'm trying to think.
What game's going to draw a lot of fights?
Fights? I don't know if that's the thing with the NFL. The rivalries, I'm trying to think of what's recently been going on, and
I go Steelers Ravens on Monday night. Yeah, and I'm not being a homer about it, but that's the matchup that I would want to see on Monday night.
I want to see. I mean, even though they're not that great right now, and I don't know if we call this a rivalry, but you got to start thinking Chiefs Bills. I mean, which we just saw. That's a good game.
That's a good one. Indianapolis and Houston with Richardson and
C.J. Stroud.
Who else?
I'm trying to think of some other teams that have met in the playoffs. Niners Philly.
Oh, that would be a good one. That's a good one. Chiefs Bengals.
Chiefs Bengals. Yeah, that's a good one.
Look at us, man. See, NFL rivalry week from Thursday to Sunday. If you don't have a rival where you don't want to punch in the face, you're taking a bye week that week. Like literally, it should be only games that are so heated. It's gonna outdraw everybody to watch it. Just think about that, dude. I'd be glued. Can you imagine guys looking at the schedule and seeing rivalry week on there and seeing your biggest rival on there? Oh, it'd be great.
And you think about the fans too, because rivalries are just as much for the fans as they are for the teams.
Yes.
And so if you see on the schedule, you've got that one team that just gets on your last nerve, or that you've played many times throughout the season, or have lost to in the playoffs multiple times. Then yes, you want that get back. So yeah, we definitely need to see that, man. They should do that. They should hire someone to film the pregame in the parking lot so we can see the fights that break out. You know what I'm saying? We should have somebody with a mic. Have somebody with a mic out there in the parking lot, at the tailgates, just getting in on all the trash talking. You know what I mean?
Oh, dude, that'd be great. See, look, man, the ideas are flowing, dude. I love this.
They could even instigate. We could have reporters instigate. We have reporters come in and just get one fan from each team and ask some questions about why they hate the other team, and just let it go.
Go over there and spew some crap and make some stuff up like, hey, man, he said your mama's tailgate is terrible. Watch tailgates fighting each other.
Or how about this? Pre-game contest.
What you got?
Take the fans from the two different fan bases, put them together, and make them play whatever type of game or whatever type of competition you want them to. It could be stupid stuff like drinking games, beer pong. It doesn't matter. Or it could be throwing a football. We could have them go out there and run a 3-on-3 and watch them kill each other. Whatever the case may be, we could do that. And just watch two fan bases go at it for 15 minutes before the game starts. I think it'd be great, man.
I like this right now, man. You know what I'm saying? And then just, after the game, you talk about pregame, right? Everybody's getting sauced up. Then you got the postgame. Everybody's trying to like recover. They're walking and they're stumbling out of the football stadium. You could just let them just talk all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, man.
You start seeing a fight break out. You go record. You go live to it as well, dude. I'm telling you, man. Like NFL, listen to us.
I feel like this is the XFL right now. I feel like we're in the XFL.
Hold on, we're not telling people. Look, if it's going to be the XFL, it's going to be the Bills, right? Because they put their own fan base through tables. So let's make that clear. We're not talking about taking. Oh, good play. We're not talking about taking chairs to each other. Let Netflix have the pre and post game fights here, and then let the players handle it on the field. I'm telling you, rivalry week in the NFL would be perfect. It'd be ideal.
Yeah. Yeah, and then just like, and you know who they should have out there with the mic in their hand doing some of that work.
Who?
Put your boy Marshawn out there, Marshawn Lynch. He's been working with Amazon Prime for a little bit. Put him out there. Have him go out there.
Oh my God, dude! And that's definitely on Netflix. He would be no filter, all gas. I'd listen to that for days.
Telling you, man.
He would enjoy it too, man.
Oh,
he
man.
would thoroughly enjoy it.
Absolutely. He would be right with us, oohing and on, watching people get after each other. It'll be great. It'll be absolutely great.
Hey, but on just before the whole NCAA thing, we could talk about Trevor Lawrence get put into that hollow earth.
Dude, first off, it was a half slide. So I think it is, in my book, that's an illegal play. But
100%. That was an illegal play.
he took the shot of shots and immediately just was completely. He was out. He was knocked.
He made two gang signs look bad.
My man was concussed. He was gone. And then, of course, a fight broke out because of it, which should happen. I mean, defenseless quarterback. Gotta defend your teammate, man. That was rough. That was pretty rough. And whoever, I don't know who made the hit. Who was it?
Algier. He used to play for the Niners. Algier.
Oh, okay. He gonna get fined and suspended, more than likely.
Dude, he was trying to fight the entire Texans team, or not the Texans team, the Jags team, the entire way. Like that fight went on really good. And then did you see the fan throw the water bottle, try to hit him? Hit another player instead.
Yeah, fans trying to do things to NFL players. It's not happening.
I don't like the whole throwing of the thing. Look, you want to voice your opinion, I'm all for that. You want to say some stuff, I'm all for it, because you look, at the end of the day, we're paying for those seats, and we all know how boisterous we can get. You start throwing things, you're adding fuel to the fire.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Dude, it reminds me of when the Raiders went to play the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
In Mile High. We beat them. They started throwing snowballs with batteries inside them at us.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy. One of our players got hit in the face, tried to go into, almost was trying to get into the stands to go beat somebody up. I'm trying to remember who that was. I'm about to look that up.
I just watched the Bills make an improbable play. The guy was stopped at the line of scrimmage. Josh Allen goes running towards him. It's a flea flicker backwards, and he scores a touchdown.
Let's see.
Ugh, boy.
What the heck? Oh my gosh! Yeah, now we're in the backyard, folks. We're not even playing organized football anymore when it's snowing like this. We just do what you got to do.
That was pretty creative. I'm not gonna lie, but oh god, this is bad.
28-3. But they got to make the point out. There it goes. 28-3. The Bills are beating the Niners, which, like I said, I don't know if any of us had the Niners beating the Bills at home.
But dude, this is the thing I'm talking about here. Is like, look at the Miami Dolphins last week. They went to Green Bay.
Oh man,
cold as hell. Like these are automatic wins for teams on the East Coast that the NFL sends a West Coast team to.
Right. Like, I agree.
Like West Coast teams don't have a weather advantage because it's just cold here. Like it's not going to be snowing in the Bay Area if an East Coast team came here. If they play in the rain, that still favors the East Coast team because they deal with a lot of that. Here we just deal with cold temperature most of the time.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, let's jump into it, man. Let's get into it. Let's set this up. We got Saturday. We had the games on Saturday. Lot of rivals playing each other. A lot on the line for some ranked teams as well. And man, there are some very angry
Screw the games.
people after Thanksgiving. You would think after the holiday, folks were ready to give each other's hugs, high fives, and handshakes, good games, and have a wonderful life. No, it was, on one side, I'm going to try to embarrass you as much as I possibly can by putting a flag or some crap on the middle of your field. And on the other side, I'm going to completely kill you for trying to do it. So it's... Take me through this. Now, I don't watch a lot of college football. I did watch the end of that Michigan-Ohio State game, and I watched the clips that you sent me. And the Ohio State-Michigan one I thought was special because there wasn't just one fight. I mean, they had to stop this thing 3 or 4 different times. At one point, I'm looking at this thing going, they need to get these guys off the field because the longer they stay on the field, the worse this is going to get. One of the Michigan players finds the Michigan flag, and you already know they are in Ohio. He's out here trying to wave the flag. Boom. Guy grabs it, rips it from him. Another fight starts.
Yeah.
It was like the security had to use pepper spray on players to get this thing under control. You saw players on the sideline wincing because they had pepper spray on their eyes. This was an absolute dumpster fire at the end of this game. And it led me to wonder, what protocol, should college football change their protocol at the end of some of these games? I know there's some there's some history to it, and folks get to run out on the field and all this and whatever garbage. But at the end of the day, if you win the game, you need to get in your locker room. That's it. Yeah. Just get in your locker room. I don't know why these players are out with flags and where the hell are you even getting this stuff from? Like, what was that? Had a damn trident? I mean, they're out. That was Arizona State, and when they're out there doing all this extra stuff with extra accessories that are not needed in a football game.
Yeah.
Just take your win, let the coaches dab each other up, and get the hell out of there. Get off the field. Now, if you're on your home field, okay, take a couple more minutes and do whatever you want to do. But
enjoy it.
When you're on the visitors' field, come on, man. Come on.
Look, it all started in Ohio State. Oklahoma with Baker Mayfield went into Ohio State and beat them, and Baker Mayfield went in there and planted the flag. Now, that's where it kind of started, but it never really picked up after that until yesterday.
Yeah.
Everybody was looking to plant flags. So, yes, let's start with Michigan and Ohio State because Fox jammed that down everybody's throat this week because we had to watch it because it's the game. It's Michigan and Ohio State. Whatever the case may be, we all watched it right there. I can get the celebration. I feel 50-50 about this because the athlete in me is like, dude, just beat the other team and you don't have to worry about this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not having to deal with this. But at the second, there needs to be kind of a certain degree of respect. Through deep rivalries here, I get it. But at the end of the day, you got to have at least just a little smudge here. I'm not saying really like your opponent, but expect what you're going to expect when you try to do something disrespectful.
Right.
When you go into locker rooms, it is sacred ground where you do not step on your team's logo in the locker room. The same thing is said when teams are warming up on the field. Like, look at Colorado last year. They went to Oregon, and they were wiping their cleats on the O in the middle of the field, right?
Yeah.
That caught the team's attention. You proceed to get your ass whooped up and down the field against Oregon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you have to anticipate something bad is going to happen. Play dumb games, win dumb prizes. And that fight was outrageous, man. You had media members. You had social media content people as well. Guys, people who aren't going to survive this because you got everybody in pads and helmets. And these are some big dudes throwing haymakers, right?
Yeah, Fox was in the middle of I don't know if it was Fox, in the middle of an interview. Whenever the fight broke out behind the interview, and that little blonde woman, I don't know who she was, but she stood
she
pat.
Didn't stand no damn chance in that shit.
But yeah, I mean, if we're being serious about it, if 10 of those guys from each side decide that they're just going to go at it, nobody's surviving that because somebody could fall on the ground, and after that, you could get trampled, kicked, stomped. Nobody knows. and something really bad could happen. So like I said, man, college has to figure out what they need to do after these games. There's no reason to play everybody and their mama needs to be on the field after the game is already over. It's time the game's over. Go home. You know what I mean? So
the worst part is like you said, the cops ended up having to use pepper spray because they couldn't. It wasn't under control. That thing.
No.
If the cops weren't there, they'd still be fighting right now on the field if they didn't control it. Do I agree it's the right thing to do? I don't think so. There's got to be a better way you could try to control it. But during that time, that was the only option that they had. Now they're going to be under scrutiny. I think the first cop that they saw doing the pepper spray, he did get fired. Both schools, both Michigan and Ohio State, got fined $100,000 each with no suspensions. And so, dude, that was wild. I was at work when I saw that unfold, and I'm like, you guys, I'll be right back. I'm gonna watch this fight take place, right?
Yeah.
And then literally like 10 minutes later, I get a text from ESPN saying that a Notre Dame lineman punched a USC player right in the face on a field goal. And you go back to watch it. Now, it was stupid because the USC player had his helmet on, but the guy cold clocked him. Yeah. Like literally punched him square in his face.
And I would think after the replay that something will be done. You would think that
something's going to happen. Haven't heard anything yet.
And then we also had Houston and what was that?
BYU.
And BYU.
Houston and BYU fighting each other in the end zone.
What the heck are these teams fighting? Anyway, so, Brigham Young University, Mormon capital of the world, decides to get into a squabble in the back of the end zone there. And it was uncalled for and unnecessary. And, just like you said, these rivalries, they run deep. But, man, we still got to play the sport at some point.
Ooh, touchdown.
Guys can't be that was quick. That was a quick little drive there. So, yeah, man. And then what was the other one? I think you had, then it was Arizona and Arizona State.
With the trident, well, first of all, you're stupid for trying to put a trident in turf because it didn't stick. And then the second thing is the Arizona player thought he was pulling it out of the ground, ends up clipping himself with this sharp-ass object. It's like, you guys really think about what we're doing here. But I think the second best one was the North Carolina NC State one, because that was another flag planting little incident that turned into a fight after that.
Yeah, again, with the folks with the flags and the extra accessories, the trident, and it's just not necessary to play football. Get out of there. What are you doing? You know what I mean? Those flags are for the cheerleaders and stuff to wave around during the games. They're not for you to go take it and try to stamp it on some field or do something weird. Look, if they want, they could come up with a different way to deal with some of these rivalries. I know I've seen rivalry games before where they have some type of, artifact that is handed from one team to the next, depending upon who wins it one year versus the other. Figure something else out. But what we can't have is people running around with freaking tridents on a football field. Okay, because it doesn't make any sense. I think it's supposed to be a fork because they're the Devils, but whatever it is, it's not necessary. And if it's sharp enough to cut somebody, it's sharp enough to cause an injury to someone else.
Yeah.
Let's stop it, okay? If you want to fight, if you want to hit somebody, do it during the football game. Okay, that 100%. I can respect. It's not a good look, but hell, if you're gonna get into it while we're on the field.
How many times have we seen incidents where pushing and shoving, some punches thrown? Look at the game today between Jacksonville and the Texans, right?
Yeah.
Had it just stopped after that, had Algier not really gone any – well, look, Algier was getting thrown out for the hit.
Anyway, regardless well, it didn't matter.
But for the most part, with scrums like that, there's offsetting penalties, and then everyone's back to playing football.
Right.
Do it during the game. If you get your ass whooped by your rival – Take it like a man. Take that on the chin, and call it a day. But we did do a poll on TikTok. Should flag planting be allowed? 40 votes came in, bro. Majority of it was yes. They should.
It's because we're a bunch of internet degenerates that want to see people hurt themselves. That's what this is. I mean, let's call it what it is. I mean, it's entertaining. It's entertainment. We're talking about it right now. I'm not going to take that away. It is. But what you don't want is NCAA is always trying to make sure that they're putting the right type of thing out there, right? College football has gone through a medley of problems in the past 20 years. And for the most part, they've been squeaky clean for a little while now. The NIL is in place. We don't have any more stories about people getting paid under the table or coaches doing things that they shouldn't. Or, all that stuff is starting to dry up a bit. The last thing the NCAA wants is football players with pitchforks on a field after a game. It's just not. It's not necessary.
You're so hell bent on those pitchforks. No pun intended.
Think about how silly it is. I'm just saying. Think about. Let's say Stanford decides, you know what, we're gonna bring an axe to the game. Seriously.
Well, technically we do. They play for the axe.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm just saying. Let's say we just start.
They're not wielding one. They're not wielding.
That's what I mean. Let's say we can wield one, and we start taking it out on the field and start chopping at the logo in the middle of the freaking field. Now we got a problem, right? Because what if the guy swings the axe at somebody else? What then would we just complete bedlam at that point, right? Yeah. What if a fan runs? Would they rush the field and a fan gets a hold of it? Like, just take this crap away. All right, we got to treat these guys like toddlers. You know what I mean? You can't bring toys to school. All right, stop it.
Oh, speaking of the Cal-Stanford game, a fan tried to steal one of the Cal's players' helmets.
Oh, I saw that. Yes.
And then the equipment manager suplexed him into the ground.
He's straight.
Good for him.
Bobby Boucher'd his ass. I could hear the from on the other side of the TV. Like, the way he ran was like somebody had stole his last dollar, and he went and he grabbed that dude and slammed him. Like, no, that was great. That was awesome.
First of all, you know how impressive that is to get around the crowd.
Oh, he was, man.
He was bobbing and weaving. He was cutting people. He was breaking ankles, and then found dude and suplexed him and said, "Give me that helmet back." That was great.
My man is going to be a safety next year. He's going to be on the practice squad.
He ain't going to be the equipment manager.
He's going to be on the practice squad. Exactly. Oh, man, that was good.
Before we end it here, I didn't get a chance to ask you the question. Yes or no on flag planting?
No, because it's going to start a fight every single time. There's not a team in college or anywhere else that's going to let you plant a flag and then walk away. It's always going to be a fight. Think about when Terrell Owens did that crap on the Star. Remember?
Yeah. When he did the Hail Mary on the Star?
Yeah, when he went back out there, what happened to him? He got wrecked. Mm-hmm. And because that's what it's football. It's a physical game. These guys are all filled with testosterone. They're chomping at the bit. Half of them are excited because they won. The other half are extremely upset because they lost. You're asking for a fight at that point. So if you want to see a fight happen after a college game, then yes, we just stick with it. But in my opinion, if they're doing that every other game or at the end of the SEC or whatever conference, rounds or championship games, then you're going to draw some negative attention to some of the most viewed games in the college. And I don't think the NCAA wants that.
But I think the NFL could take a page out of NCAA's rivalry week. Look at the attention
they could.
that it got throughout the day here.
Oh, yeah.
Starting from 9 o'clock to 8 o'clock.
Texas and Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Late. Yeah, man.
Rivalries for over 100 years got played during that week. And it draws viewership here. It hits a little different because it's all about the school. It's all about the pageantry, who you represent here. It's not about a contract. But, man, take a page out of that because that drew a crowd of people to watch.
Yeah. I think it's a good idea, man. We'll see if the NFL watches our tape. We want full credit. We'll take a 10% cut of the earnings. Appreciate it.
So just to counter you, I'm actually going to say yes to flag planting. I'm going to. If it's going to draw people to watch, including the non-college football person, it draws attention to your sport.
For the wrong reasons, okay? Let's not forget what happened in Indiana with the Indiana Pacers.
Okay, hold on. That was different though. Okay, that was a little more different.
You ain't go feed the kids candy and tell them not to go crazy now. And that's what I'm trying to say. You're not just going to tell them. That means
you're cutting beer at every sport because that was all liquor and fuel.
No. I'm saying that situation was a perfect culmination of things that had to happen, right? But what I'm saying is there had to be a spark. and the spark was the drink being thrown on Better World Peace.
First of all, they threw the drink at the wrong person.
Yeah, they did. That was okay. But that's what I mean. So if you're planting those flags on a regular basis, something bad's gonna happen eventually. Now it may start off with just a scuffle like we saw, right? But which involved pepper spray for a couple of teams. But if we keep doing it every single time and players know it's going to happen, it's on. And it's going to turn into something much bigger than what you want it to be. That's all I'm saying.
So then what they should do is, you remember the movie The Longest Yard? When
it's been a while since I've seen it.
With the remake with
Adam Sandler and Chris Rock, yeah.
And they have the game where they separate the cons from the fans. And they got fences and barricades around. You might as well just do that as well. Right? Let's just have some fun with this, man. Let's just have some fun with this.
Just let your cheerleaders wave the flags. If they wave them, nobody's going to tackle them. So, just let them wave them.
I don't know. The Cal-Stanford band game, the dude ran over a band member. Still can't unlive that, to say the least here.
Oh, man. It reminds me of the days of Marshawn Lynch driving a cart around the surveillance.
I didn't get away with that in college football, man. He was whipping that thing, man.
Good times, man. Good times.
Hey, before we go, two things. One, Pick'em Dummies, a quick update. You are 2-1 right now.
Oh, yeah.
You had the Chargers and the Seahawks cover. The Bucks gave you your only L, even though they won.
Yeah, stupid Bucks.
And then you have the Browns tomorrow night. If everything holds up for me, I will go 4-0.
What?
I had the Commanders. I had the Pats. I had the Steelers. Steelers were +3. Covered that. Pats were +2.5. Covered that. Commanders blew the Titans out of the water. I've got the Bills at -6 right now, so that's the only game I'm seeing until I hopefully go 4-0, and then go 0-4 the following week.
There you go, man. Hey, our records are pretty close.
They are.
This is going to go down to the wire.
It is 18-21-1 for you, 19-19-3 before the game starts.
All right.
So it is close.
I got some work to do.
I'm gonna get some separation after this week.
Okay. All right. We'll see.
Second big news, we have now made it. We're TikTok famous now. We are now going to be able to go TikTok live.
Are we?
So we are going to put this together. We're going to make the official announcement on how we're going to go about it here. But we're excited to have a second platform where we can go live and share this content with all of you guys here. So we will make an announcement as soon as we have it planned and ready to go. It'd be a little different from our show on Sundays. We're still going to have the show here, but we're going to use TikTok for a different source. We're excited for this. Another big opportunity for B&T Sportstalk. So hard work is paying off, slowly but surely.
All right. And on that note, folks, we're going to head out.
Watch the rest of this Globe game over here, man.
Yeah,
the Niners are making it a little interesting.
It's a blowout. It's
complete. They just got the ball back.
Oh, they did? Oh,
yeah.
Good for them. Not good for you, though, because you need your pick, okay? You can't let them...
I need my pick and my parlay.
Yeah,
the Bills get this, I'm going to make money!
Oh, man. All right, folks. Well, on that note, do not gamble. It's bad for your health, and we will see y'all next time on Friday for Pick'em Dummies. We're getting closer and closer to the playoffs. And and be on the lookout for us. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and hit the like button on the video. We appreciate it. And hit the notification button so you know when we own. All right, y'all.